Progress.
एक मिनट.
नहीं है तो भी स्ट्रेट.
In this house of dreams, they stand so tall. Every child a story, they know them all. Hridayada maat bimbisutat vikate, guiding us gently with love as their key. Not just teachers, they're more than that. Second mothers in every act. Oasis of care, a love so pure. Every lesson taught, it will endure. Hridayadalli nelesuvaru second mothers, we honor you. Discipline wrapped in compassion's glow, preparing us for paths we don't yet know. Avarnu, avarnu, navella makkalante, with values strong, they help us grow. With a passion burning, they light the way. Second mothers, every single day. Oasis of care,
एक शिक्षक की मुस्कान है रोशनी जो दिखाए रास्ते अंधेरों में भी
Their words like a whisper to a growing mind, shaping dreams with love so kind.
Oh teacher, you're the light we follow, filling hearts with hope for tomorrow.
आपके कदमों पे है दुनिया की बात, changing lives with every thought path.
छोटी सी बात से बड़ी बात बनाए, इनसेंस को सपनों से मिलवाए.
They lift us up when we fall to the ground, spreading wisdom all around.
In their silence we hear a melody, a lesson of life, a mystery.
With patience they paint a brighter hue, colors of a future that feels so true. Oh teacher, you're the light we follow, filling hearts with hope for tomorrow.
आपके कदमों पे है दुनिया की बात, changing lives with every thought path. कागज पे सिर्फ शब्द नहीं लिखते, जिंदगी के नए रंग भी भरते.
Their care like a river that flows so free, building bridges to eternity.
Oh teacher, you're the light we follow, filling hearts with hope for tomorrow.
आपके कदमों पे है दुनिया की बात, changing lives with every thought path.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you all are, ready and excited to learn. I want to first say an absolute big thank you because I know that you've been working the whole day today. You probably put in 8 or 9 hours at work and you're putting in another 2 hours of work right now. And I really want to say a big thank you. And I also want to say that the kind of work that we are doing right now is so important because so much of our schools depend upon the work we're doing. So quickly in the group, Jai Hind Kajal, I'm so glad to see people from from Varanasi coming in quickly in the chat. If you could put in, what is your role? Are you a principal? Are you a trustee or owner of a school? Are you a marketing manager? Who are you, right? I'd love to know who are you. So go ahead and put it. Hello, Naveen. You're the PRO there, DGM Operations, Gautam Pandey. Thank you so much for coming in today. So really over the next 2 hours, I'm going to respect every minute that you're putting in this room. And we're going to be trying to make sure that we cover a lot of information, right? And I understand that going slow is good and things like that, but really, like, all of you are professionals, you won't have much time, and any time that we get, we want to share as much as we can. We had over 80 people who signed up, and so slowly more and more people are coming in, but I'm not going to be waiting for anyone. We're just going to get started quickly. My name is Willie Broad George, and many of you know me, some of you don't. But I started a school back in 2004, and I've been running a school for over 20, odd years. And my school is like a low cost private school. So we charge about 40,000 rupees per annum in terms of fees. We run a state board school, and I started literally with one shop, and then I expanded from there. So most of my experience has been in marketing. So I did my MBA in marketing, and it's only after that I actually went ahead and did my BA and then my MA and my my degree in psychology and things like that. So I have my base is marketing, and then came education. So I now have founded 3 schools and have around 4,500 odd children. And I wanted to share this journey with you in terms of what we have learned along the way. And I'm just sharing this journey, hopefully that is something that might help you as well. So how are you guys? Are you excited? If you're excited, go ahead and type anything you want. Type excited or type happy, put a smiley, show some energy. What are the things happening in your mind right now? Thank you, Bhavika Parekh. Thank you so much. We have schools from Varanasi, from Udaipur, from Amritsar. We've got schools from Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Kalyan, Khopoli, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore. We've got places. We've got people from all these places, so we can really learn from each other. One of the things that I heard is the India's replacement in terms of population. If one person dies, another person needs to be born. But the whole thing is that that's not happening. Our replacement number has reduced. We're doing like 1.8 or something. So what that actually means is there is going to be a population decline, and there is already a population decline, which means that we may start seeing less number of admissions coming to our school, less number of inquiries. We may still fill our admissions, we may still fill our targets, but the velocity at which we were filling those seats may not happen. So earlier, maybe if your school started in April, you would have probably ended your admission in November or December, but now you may notice that you may be getting far fewer number of applications per available seat, or you may be taking longer time to reach that particular number, or you might have to give promotions and discounts. So only if you're comfortable, only if you want, if you feel like, you can put in the chat in terms of, are you seeing reduced inquiries? Are you seeing reduced velocity? Or are you seeing increased velocity? Or are you seeing people asking you to reduce fees? Or are you seeing a lot of schools coming up in your neighborhood, right? So maybe earlier you were like the absolute champion, and the way your school ran, no other school ran that way. But maybe now you're feeling like there are a couple of other schools that are also coming in. So I just want to get an idea quickly about what that is. So go ahead and put it in the chat room, and in the meanwhile, I'll just play you some cool music and allow a few more people to come in. Yeah. Okay. So reduced velocity, too much competition, reduced inquiries. Yeah. Asking for concession. That's true. A lot of people are asking for concessions. That's true. Reducing fees. Yeah, so they're asking us to reduce fees as well at times, no? Okay. And there is change in location. All right. So I feel that all of us are going through the same thing. And so really, like, this is our opportunity to do something, because it's not really that bad right now, but imagine over time what's going to happen, right? Over time it's going to decrease and decrease. So let's start doing things like Bhavika saying, too many new schools coming up, and again there's too much competition. So I hope that today whatever I share with you, I really hope that you can pick up one or two things. I'm going to share a lot of things with you, and I'm also going to be. I've asked a friend, Simon, who's one of the co-founders of the company that I've just started. I've joined his company, and it'll be really interesting to get his view as well. So I don't know if Simon is here. Just make some noise if you're here, buddy. If you're here, just make some noise.
Hi
Oh, you
everyone.
are. Oh, cool. Thanks. Let me just bring you up. Okay, that's Simon, and Simon's going to be helping us. Simon has done his MBA from the IIM Kozhikode, and he's also an engineer, and he's done lots of work in advertising and things like that. So I've got Simon, and I've said, Simon, buddy, I want you to be here so that we can also have a discussion of some sorts. And the way I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be sharing some examples from our own school. Both Simon and me are running a school in Nalasopara, Vasai, Virar, and in Boisar. And I'm going to be sharing some examples of what our journey was. And then, because most of those examples also came from like the past 10 years, perhaps with AI over the next 5 years, these strategies may be different. Simon, do you want to like quickly say anything? Anything comes to your mind?
So, I come from a very different space. So I've been doing campaigns for brands like Asian Paints, Red Bull, Procter and Gamble. That's my background. And for the last 3 years, I've been doing something interesting in schools called video labs, where children come together and make video projects. So as I have worked closely with schools, what I have noticed in common is all schools look alike online. And what I'll be trying to do today is give you some perspective as a ad agency founder, as someone who's done a lot of storytelling, to help you understand how to differentiate and break away from the clutter.
Hey, that's amazing, Simon. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm just going to quickly jump in. I have a little deck for you, and feel free to add questions in the chat as and when it comes to you or insights. Simon, please requesting you to kind of look at the chat as well, because if I keep looking down, this is what you're going to be seeing all the time. So if you could just kind of monitor the chat as well. And while we may not necessarily explicitly have to answer these questions, but while we are talking, we can kind of make sure that we're covering these points. So here's a quick little deck that I made for you, and I would like to share all these things with you. I just wanted to make it fun, and the way we did it is we said, if there has to be like some 10 principles when it comes to marketing of a school, could those principles be? So this is just random, our creative way of just bringing this point to you. So 10 principles of school marketing in India, and I hope that you will find this valuable. The first thing is, business goals and brand goals are different. That is the first real thing that I want to share with you. You are a school, yes. So let's give you a name. Let's say, just for want of a different name, say New Public High School. New Public High School is a school, yes, and it's also a brand. By a school, you mean you're also a business. By a business, you mean you have employees, you have resources, you are providing a service, you're charging a fee. That's a business. So we have to understand that business goals are different and brand goals are different. All of you want to create a brand, but these are two different things. So business goal answers how many seats can we sell or how many admissions can we get. A brand goal answers why our school. Why should you join our school, right? So these are the two fundamental differences. Most of the time, the word marketing, sales, brand, promotion, schemes, all this thing, most of the time they're used interchangeably and very loosely. That is something we need to understand. Schools often confuse that filling seats is equal to building a brand. अरे मेरा एडमिशन तो फुल हो गया, लास्ट ईयर 200 का एडमिशन था, मुझे 200 मिला, तो आई मस्ट बी अ ग्रेट ब्रांड. नो, business goals are numbers, brand goals are perception. If you work on your brand for several years to come, you are solving that problem. Okay, so that is the first principle I want to share. Business goals are how many seats, brand goals are why you. Like in the same way, you can talk about marketing goals and sales goals. Marketing goals, your focus is going to be the customer. What's good for the customer? Customer in this case is a parent or a student. What's good for the customer? Sales goals will always be focused on your competitor. Sales goals focused on competitor, marketing goals focused on what your customer needs and wants. Keep that in mind and we will move forward. The next principle is marketing creates desire and sales converts that desire into admission, business or money. Understand? So you have to understand कि जब भी आप social media कर रहे हो, when you're doing social media, when you're creating banners, when you're creating brochures, when you're creating marketing assets, is that a marketing asset or a design that is going to create desire in people? अरे जब भी मेरे पास एक बच्चा होगा मैं वो ये स्कूल में डालूंगा. See, that's creating desire. If only I was a child again, I would wish to join this school. That is desire. And sales converts that desire into an admission. So if you're a PRO, if you're an admissions officer, if you're anyone like that who's talking to the parent, आपको समझना है कि if the parent has come to your school already, that means there has been a desire and your job is to convert that desire into a school. So keep that thing in mind and we're going to move forward. So you have to understand that every time in your school, if you are in your ads, if you're going to be talking about admission open, take admission, then people may feel that the school is being desperate. So marketing is attraction, making something attractive. Sales is converting that attraction into an admission. Keep that in mind and that might help you. Here's principle number 3. And if you come across any of these principles and if you feel, hi yaar, ye sahi hai, or this makes sense, or I'm not so sure if this makes sense, use the chat box, yeah? And we will keep that in mind. Principle number 3. Parents do not choose the best school. They choose the clearest one. Alright? Parents do not choose the best school. They choose the clearest one. Schools are literally like mobile phones, yeah, or network. आपके घर में network कौन सा सबसे clear आता है? That's the mobile phone service that you're going to buy. So it's not necessarily the best one. It is the one that is the clearest. You know, maybe the best mobile service in my area is Jio, but मेरे घर पे, at my house, I may not be getting good reception. So for me, it's not the best, right? But maybe Airtel works the best for my house, right? So you have to understand this race कि मुझे सबसे best school बनना है or I want to be the best school. That may not be something that you want to go for. You want to go for being the clearest school. That means the school that communicates clearly. We are about this 1, 2 and 3, which means clarity always beats comparison. Okay, so parents are overwhelmed with choices. This school also, that school also, that school also, that school also. And a school that explains who you are, exactly who you are, what you stand for. ये आपके स्कूल में क्या अच्छा है और क्या चलता है और क्या नहीं चलता है. That when you're very clearly, you are able to communicate that, why you are better than others, you don't have to communicate. Because when you are clear in what you do, parents will find you better than others who are not clear. So please keep that in mind. Clarity over comparison. Yeah, that is something, that is the third principle. The fourth principle is often highly overlooked. And the fourth principle here is goodwill is your invisible admission engine. Most of the time in all our hoardings, banners, assets, social media posts, sab mein niche there is a CTA, there's an admission now, call here, DM us now, whatever. Yeah. So a CTA is like, all of you know what a CTA is. It's a call to action. And every single asset, every single design, every single reel that you are putting online, if it is asking for admissions, then there is a problem. So advertisements create that reach, but goodwill creates trust. तो गुडविल के लिए भी कुछ आपको काम करना चाहिए, राइट? एंड इट मे नॉट हैव इमीडिएट admissions. Yeah, you may not get immediate admissions based on that. So goodwill is built through service, care, innovation, and consistent behavior. That is what you need to work on. It is a currency that parents trade in. Okay, so just because they saw your hoarding and poster doesn't mean they're going to come to your school. They should also feel good about your school. So remember, goodwill के लिए काम करना है. So if you're a PRO, if you're a DGO operations, if you're a marketing person, and if your trustee or your promoters are saying, you know, यहाँ पे banner लगा दो, यहाँ पे नाम लगा दो, यहाँ पे ये कर दो, you can also talk and say, sir, ये तो हम goodwill के लिए कर रहे हैं, ये हम brand mileage के लिए कर रहे हैं, ये हम admissions के लिए, immediate admissions और conversions के लिए नहीं कर रहे हैं. So you being able to take that decision allows you to be more strategic in the way you are communicating. Principle number 5, sales, promotions, and goodwill creation. All three are different. They are not the same. Saying, you know, if you're making a reel saying, you know, please join our school because, you know, we have very qualified teachers, we have excellent infrastructure, we have excellent this and we are that. Just saying that, and if you want to convert that to goodwill, you cannot just say this is for goodwill. हम ये goodwill के लिए कर रहे हैं. No, these three different creative techniques and methods are different. So जब भी, whenever you are trying to create some marketing material, you have to understand, is this sales material, promotional material, goodwill creation. Goodwill creation is brand creation. Correct? So we have to think. For example, अगर मैं एक shirt बना रहा हूँ, if I'm making a shirt and I want to make this shirt as a promotional shirt, पीछे मेरा logo बहुत बड़ा होगा स्कूल का. It's a huge logo that I'm going to be putting in. But if it is for goodwill, I may put a small tiny logo, Nike जैसा किधर एक छोटा सा एक logo. I may make a, you know, that may be for goodwill, for branding. It may be for mileage. It may be for something else. Sometimes you may not even put your logo. You may not even put your logo sometimes. And that also spreads incredible amount of goodwill. So that is something that I would like you to consider. Remember, if a school is only promoting all the time, जब भी बैनर लगता है admissions के बारे में बोल रहा है, जब भी बैनर लगता है only about the results of the state board 10th standard or HSE or CBSE or IB, you're only promoting your winners of your school, for example, and you're always promoting admissions, then people will tend to have less trust in your school because they may feel like these guys are so desperate. Itna marketing kar raha hai, so much admissions related push. That means maybe they are desperate. They are not dependable, right? Desperation is literally the opposite of dependability. So think through that and think about every time you make something, are you doing something which allows you to sell, to promote, or to build your brand? And the goal of all that is to be different. Literally, I would say, don't think of, oh, I just want to be better than my neighboring school. No, I mean, that can happen as a natural process, but your goal should be different. And that's where I want to tell you, if you are a PRO, if you're an admissions officer, if you're a GM, and if you think, nahi yaar, hamare haath mein hai, I don't have the power, I don't have the control, I don't have the agency or the authority to make changes in my academics. So then whatever they're going to do, I'm just going to market that, or I'm just going to try and promote it, or I'm going to sell it, even if I don't believe in what they're doing. I want to tell you that you can have a design first approach. And what I mean by a design first approach is that your designers, your marketing team, your counselors, your receptionists, all these people, your PROs, your admission officers, all these people, your customer service officers, your principal, and other people who are in administration, who are not necessarily in the direct development of academics, they can give you phenomenal amount of input and insight on becoming better. You are able to use academics as a fulcrum for innovation and then use that for marketing. Okay, so please do not think that you don't have that power. आपके हाथ में power है. आप जाके बताओ, you tell your board that I am the person doing marketing, I am the person doing sales, and this is what we need to do. You need to make adjustments up on the value chain whereby our academics is different. Not just managing that, I would even say that you are in a position to design that. So please think that way. Most of the schools that I meet, the PROs feel like हम क्या कर सकते हैं, right? I think you have a great opportunity. So here's your next principle number 7. Brand archetypes shape your voice and personality. Okay, a lot of us have not looked at brand archetypes. कि हमारा brand का archetype क्या है? You see, I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of psychological instruments have broken people down into different psychological profiles. Simple things. Some people are called introverts, some people are called extroverts, some people are ambiverts, all these things, right? So there is various processes such as DISC or MBTI or Enneagram. There are so many different personality type indicators. And this is what I want to share with you. Every brand has a personality type. Every brand has a personality type. You have to understand that a brand is almost like a human being. A brand has an emotion. A brand has a tone. A brand has favorite words. A brand has favorite dresses they wear. A brand has favorite events. If you go and look at a meditation hall where everyone is doing yoga, you are not going to see Red Bull ka board over there. Because Red Bull doesn't do yoga. Red Bull gives you wings. You understand? So, but if you see like there is this massive competition where someone's jumping off a mountain or a hill or a cliff, chances are that that's a Red Bull event. You see what I'm saying? So think about your school and think about your brand and say, what is the personality of your brand? Is your brand, there are 12 different brand archetypes. I'm just going to show you my screen for a second. I should not do this because then I'll get into too much time, but I just want to show you quickly, if possible. Let's say brand archetypes. Yeah, brand archetypes. I just want to show you quickly. You see this brand archetype? There are 12 brand archetypes here. Yeah, there is a brand archetype called I can't see it. Let me see if I can make it bigger. But there are 12 brand archetypes. There's a brand archetype called Everyman. There's a brand archetype called Jester. Dove? Maybe it's love. You remember that Dove ad? And it's all about love and it's all about being warm and soft and intimate. So that has a Jester kind of, lover and intimacy kind of personality. There is another personality called Hero. There's another personality of Power. There's another personality, I can't see now, Rebel. There are brands which are rebellious, like Lee is a rebellious brand. There are brands like Harley Davidson. It's a rebellious brand, So you got to understand, what is your brand? Harvard has a different brand. Stanford has a different personality. When you start realizing that every brand has a personality, has an archetype, then you know how you should communicate. You could look at a design and say, इसमें मजा नहीं है. This design looks good. बहुत अच्छा है. But this design is not ours. It's like, sometimes parents come to your school and say, अरे मेरा बच्चा आज अभी तक घर पे नहीं आया. And then you'll be like, ये आपका बच्चा है. And he's like, नहीं, ये मेरा बच्चा नहीं है. बच्चा तो अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा बच्चा है, लेकिन मेरा नहीं है. So the point I'm trying to make is that when you know कि आपका brand archetype क्या है, what's your brand archetype, then every other thing, your communication, your tone, your language, your choice of color, your image, your choice of everything starts changing. I want to ask you one question right now. How many of you feel that you know your brand archetype? How many of you feel that you know your brand archetype? Put in the chat box, do you think that you know your brand archetype? And some of the brand archetypes are, innocent, sage, like Johnson and Johnson, innocence. Johnson and Johnson, innocence. Think about it, right? So that brand is innocence brand. So everything is going to be around that. Or sage, which is knowledge, or explorer, which is about freedom, woodland, explorer, right? So Rakhi is saying sage. Anu Sharma is saying, yes, I know what my brand archetype is. That is such a beautiful thing, because the minute you know what your brand archetype is, you know what's your territory, you know what's okay and what's not okay. And the minute you know your brand archetype, then people, when you communicate that clearly, people will come to you who want that kind of a brand archetype. So I just took a few extra minutes here, but I wanted you to know that a school that has a caregiver school brand archetype will always speak of warmth. So if you're a caregiver, you may not always put all your hoardings about, oh, this guy came first and this guy came second and this guy came third. You may word it differently, right? Or a school that has an explorer brand archetype may always speak about adventure. अरे हमारा स्कूल में ये हो रहा है, अरे we are doing innovation, oh we are breaking the norm, we're breaking the mold, we're doing this and so the way you speak will become different. The sage school speaks about wisdom. This is what we are thinking, this is how we are, so as a school, all of you need to choose what is your brand archetype, and then you want to stay true to that brand archetype. Thank you so much, Manpreet, for sharing that. Thanks, Simon, for sharing that. Thank you, Shraddha. Go and find what your brand archetype is. The next thing I want to share is your name and values will shape perception. You have to understand that parents quickly form opinions about a school based on names, based on programs, based on rituals, and based on values. If you do not name your strengths, someone else will name them for you. आपके स्कूल में, for example, if you're a school here called New Horizon Public School, if you can't tell me New Horizon School में what, if you've not named your rituals, some other competitor will name it for you. अरे New Horizon Public School, अरे एक घंटा उसके बस में बैठना पड़ता है. 1 hour children have to sit in the bus. That's it. If you don't name something, if you don't talk about it, if you don't brand something, somebody else will brand it for you. अरे वो school, अरे वो तो वो July August वाला school है ना. I'm like, what is July August वाला school? It means July August September तक भी admission मिलता है वो school में, right? It means that if you don't name something, your competitors will name whatever they want about your school. I'm not talking about go change your name, right? You cannot change your name. However, everything that you do in your school, you can give it a name. For example, you don't have to say annual day. Come up with some other name, no? In our school, for example, in my school, everything we tried and gave it a name. I'll give you an example. In your school, you have a very simple thing called the essay writing. We took essay writing and we called it word leader. We gave it a name. Everyone in every school you do reading. We took that and we gave it a name called Read for Change. All of you have a student handbook in your school, like a diary or a almanac or whatever you call it, right? And we took that in our school and we converted that and gave it another name called the DDA, Daily Dose of Awesome. And not just this, pay attention, all of you who are in the marketing departments of the school, look at what I'm showing you on screen. This is my DDA planner. We take 700 rupees for this, 4,000 parents buy it. If I was giving a school almanac, no one would have paid money for it. You understand? So we have now created something like this, and this has been going on for the past 10 years or 7 years in the school. We took explicit values and we put these explicit values down, and I designed this entire book to make it such that a child uses this as a personal mastery journal, helps him plan and helps him go through the day, right? But not just naam. I'm saying aap naam do, har ek cheez ka aap naam do, but not just a name. I'm also asking the marketing departments here to go ahead and take a trademark for these names. So you're actually able to see here that not just a name, but I also have the trademark for this particular thing called the DDA planner. You see, so this trademark is also there, and for each and every name that we give in the school, I take a trademark for it, including our annual day name, our sports day name, our Fahrenheit name. Fahrenheit is our annual day name. Spotlight is our annual day name. Word Leader is our writing program. So these are all things that we will go. So if you are a trustee here, my responsibility to you is to tell you, come up with names and give the budgets for people to trademark it. So tomorrow when somebody tells you, aapke school mein unique kya hai, you will be able to put down 10 things and you will have the trademark of those 10 things, and none of the other schools in your competing environment will be able to say that you have that program. Okay, that is something that you can think of. The next principle number 9, is your school must create intellectual property. This was very difficult to do before AI, but after AI, it is easier for you to do. And this is my request to all of you. Create intellectual property in your school. What is intellectual property? Intellectual property is your unique way of doing something. तो आपका annual day का you can create intellectual property. आपका स्पोर्ट्स डे का यू कैन क्रिएट इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी. द वे यू आस्क क्वेश्चंस, हमारे स्कूल में क्वेश्चंस इस तरीके से पूछा जाता है. दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन, एंड ये स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द क्वेश्चन को मैंने एक नाम दिया है. Maybe I say it is learning Arthashastra, and then I take a trademark of that. And so when a parent comes for admission inquiry, I say हमारे स्कूल में एक छोटी सी चीज है, something which is unique in our school, and what that is it is this, and we have a trademark for it. This is our innovation, and this is what we're doing. So what happens is, this also helps you in your teacher training. It also helps you in creating alignment of behavior in your teams, because your teachers will be like, oh, we have told parents that this is the way we ask questions, a Socratic style of questions, for example. Now this style of questions we have to keep asking. So what happens there is alignment between what we term as brand promise and brand performance. Brand promise is what I'm telling you my brand does. Brand performance is how my brand is actually delivering on that promise. And most of the time, our promise and performance are way they're just away. So that is something that I wanted to share with you. So creating IPs, and I would also give you examples of how we created IPs. Again, I just want to say, if anybody wants to say anything, or if you have something, you can put in the chat. Simon, if anything's coming to you, just you can quickly pop in. I'm just looking at the chat right now, and Manpreet is asking, can you explain what the DDA is? Yeah. And Anu is saying class monitors at Lighthouse is incredible. That's such a cool thing. And Vinita is saying can we have mentor-mentee concept? Yeah, that's such a great concept. Like in the US, there is a company that set up a concept called Big Brother, Big Sister. And that was incredible, because counselors in schools realized that children did not have father or mother or brother, sister to go back to and talk. They were getting into drugs and they were getting into this and that and all that. So they came up with this idea of big brother, big sister, where you could be a big brother to somebody or big sister to somebody. And that really helped create, fabulous connection in the youth. So absolutely you can do. And for goodwill, so much of your playgrounds can be used by the community. Think about these things. We now have to think about a lot of things that you would not have thought about earlier. All right. So I hope that kind of makes sense to you. And the last principle I want to share with you is AI gives small schools big school capabilities. You have to think about that for a second. As a school, as a small school with limited resources, limited amount of people, there were things that you couldn't do. You couldn't create IP. You couldn't hire a director. You couldn't hire a writer. You couldn't hire a curriculum developer. But today, because of AI, you suddenly become a big school. You are able to do so many more things. One AI system may be equal to 50 member teams. And what you do with it, if it's aligned with the principles of marketing and branding, then you will be able to create a product that is incredibly valuable. So a school without a designer can produce very good brochures today, very good videos today, and very good presentations today, every week using simple AI tools. So I'm not saying you're going to learn all that right now, but I'm saying that if you become positive towards that and if you can think about that, then you will be in a position to be able to do so much more. Yeah, that's a brilliant question. Can we have a combination of two archetypes? Yes, you can, and no, you shouldn't, because the clearer you are, the better it is. Naito, we'll keep adding, and eventually, we'll have multiple personality disorder. Right? So we need to think about that. My designer used to tell me, a good designer knows when to stop. Otherwise, it's just unlimited amount of things I can do. When I go to the kitchen to cook, my mother tells me a good cook knows when to stop putting more masalas and more salt and more this. The problem is never what to put. The problem is always what to take out, such that it makes this thing beautiful, right? So I hope that a little bit of theory allows you to think through. So everything that I said so far, 10 different principles, and I know I went fast. I want to respect your time and your experience in this, and I will also share this video with you for some time, at least a limited amount of time, so that you can go through. But really, this is just for you to be able to hear certain things and then start thinking about it on your own. Simon, anything, or if anyone else feels like saying something, I just want to make sure I'm giving enough opportunity to people. If there's anyone, I'll just count backwards from 5 to 1. 5.
I think Rita has asked a question how this helps. So maybe if you can clarify what the context is.
Simon, I would love it if you would like to take a go at it.
Sure. Rita, if you can just clarify this, how this helps is in the context of brand archetypes, or it was in the context of something else?
Yeah, I think that's what she means.
Yeah. Yeah, so how a brand archetype essentially helps is
Yeah,
if
it
you
is
pick.
related to brand archetypes only, sir. And even principle 9, that is create intellectual property. So a little bit of confusion is there, need to understand a little more better.
So Simon, the intellectual property thing will become more clear as we do the rest.
these
But the
case
first
studies.
question, yeah.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, so on the brand archetype piece, what the logic of a brand archetype largely is that if you pick an archetype, you know that this is what your brand stands for. So now let's say Willy School, what is the brand archetype? If in Willy's
Creator.
eyes it is a creator archetype. So whatever Willy will continue to do is all around showing how creative they are, what are the things they do, so on and so forth. My voice, Willy, is audible because right now I think Bhagwati.
It's audible to me.
Yeah, okay. So then it's an issue. So yeah, so Rita, so the reason why you need a brand archetype is it's like a foundation, it's like an anchor which keeps you in the right direction. Otherwise, you'll be a jack of all trades. One day you'll try to show we are a creator school. Next day you'll try to show we focus on academics. Next day you'll try to show we do holistic learning. So when you have an archetype, you kind of fix yourself around this is my DNA, this is what I want to show. That's what it is. And I think it'll become a little more clearer as Willie shows how he's built the entire brand of schools.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Simon, for that.
Thank you so much,
Um,
sir.
Yeah.
Incredible. Thanks for that question also. So, wait, what's up? I just want to make sure I can see everybody here. Okay. All right. So, this is what we're going to do next. I'm going to show you some examples from the school that we're running. And so, you might start understanding a little more about it. Keep questions in your mind. Okay. It's very, very critical. I'm just going to look at all the audience right now. I just want to see all of you guys. Yeah, I can see many of you. Is it okay? Thumbs up. Are you there? You okay? You fine? Yeah, I want to send you back to your families really fast. So that's why I'm going fast. And obviously, for those who know me, you know I'm a little ADHD anyway and all that. Okay, so here is the first case study. People asked me, sir, आपका school का brochure कहाँ है? Where is the brochure of your school? And I realized, यार brochure होना चाहिए school में, right? And all of us have to design a brochure. And then we said, hey, is there a better way for us to make a school brochure? And about 7 years ago, we made a school brochure that looks like. And you can see the school brochure. Let me show you the school brochure. This is what our school brochure looks like.
है मेरी ये तमन्ना कि मेरी आंखों में जाग तुम देख सको सब कुछ यहाँ है बड़ा निराला जिसे देख तुम्हें ताजुब हो इस दुनिया में है कितना सब कुछ मुझे अब है देखना है सीखना मुझे बस एक स्कूल चाहिए जो कहे.
So we created a song for the school. We created a song about the values of our school. And we went and showed this to parents. And anyone who came, we showed this. Why? Because a brochure, we realized no one reads. They just look at the pictures. And when they're walking around the school, they would say, school dikhao. And our school is really small, you know. And when we started taking parents around, they started looking at all the things that we don't want them to see. And so we said, can we make a song? And we made a song about our school because the song and the music really creates the emotion. So we felt like the first time somebody came to our school and they said, Tumhara school ka brochure do, when we gave them the song, when we played this song for them, they feel great. We feel like we're able to bring them into the mindset of what we are about. And this is a song that we wrote and we shot this, and you can see that this is done 7 years ago. We uploaded this 7 years ago. This is not today's work. This is 7 years ago. And 240,000 views on our, that's 240,000 views on our school brochure. I once went to a school annual day randomly and they played this song over there. I once got a message from someone, randomly from somewhere else. And they said that, they heard this song in an annual day. So we really created something like this, and it's called Motivational Song for Kids, Badhte Raho, and we did not add the school name in the song. Creating goodwill, right? So this is like a 2.5 minute song. So that is an example which I wanted to share with you of what we did some time ago. So we created a student song. So the marketing insight is when parents feel pride, they become advocates of the school, and emotion has more reach than text. So brochures just have text. Videos are okay. Many a times we end up making video brochures, but music tickles the soul, right? So think through that. So this is a second artifact that I wanted to share with you, and that's called Naso. what do you mean by NASO? Let me see if I can show you what NASO means. So our school is in a place called Nala Supara, and because we are in a place called Nala Supara, it did not have a very good reputation, and so we said that we wanted to make sure that our children feel great about where they are from and what they're doing. So we came up with this concept saying instead of Nala Supara, we will call it NASO, and we will do 5 or 6 exhibitions in a year. Anyway, all schools do science exhibition, math exhibition, this exhibition, that exhibition. All those exhibitions we started putting under something called as NASO. So now in 2 years, we now say this is the 14th NASO exhibition, or this is the 15th NASO exhibition, and things like that. So we keep creating, and NASO is about innovation and creativity. So every time we come up with a new sort of a exhibition, then we say NASO. So our last exhibition was about AI in education, and so we called it PUD AI. And we say St. Willie Broad launches PUD AI, an AI in education exhibition under NASO. So that is something that you can do. So you have opportunities for you to rebrand the place you are in. God's own country, Kerala. Who said? Did God say it? No. A marketing guy in Kerala said that. So that's what you can actually do. Okay. So think about how you can do that. Here's your next example. What we've done is we've created landing pages for a lot of different activities. So every time we do a NASO exhibition, I'll just show you. Every time we do a NASO exhibition, we create like a landing page where parents go to those landing pages. It has all information about the expo and things like that. And they then select what event they are doing, what event they want to come, and they fill in this information, they hit submit, they automatically get a QR code on their phone, and they come to the school. And what's actually happening is we are building a database of people who start coming to our school. So over 10,000 people have come to our school. And so now we have a database of that. And every time we do something new, we send messages to them so that they know कि चलो school का admission हो रहा है या St. Willie Broad कुछ नया कर रहा है or something, someone's going to do something. So that way. What we also do is this particular landing page that you can see, we put our Facebook pixel tracking tool and our GTM Google Tag Managers and Google Tags into things, into landing pages like this, so that the minute somebody comes here, we can retarget them anytime we want. And that instantly allows us to drop our cost of customer acquisition, because in the future, whenever we want to do any sort of digital marketing, instead of just randomly targeting Nala Supara, we are able to target all the people who've come to our pages before. So all our exhibitions, Vinita, are for existing children only, and we do a great job, and we ask them to bring their friends, and that's how they're able to bring other people like them. That allows us to be able to create a look-alike audience on Facebook or Instagram or Google, and that reduces our digital marketing expenditure. So that is happening throughout the year, and we're building this kind of a database. So this is something that I wanted to share with you, something that you should also start thinking about. The next case study is creating ads that are public service ads. Public service. Manpreet, somebody from my team can call you and we'll help you on how to do this QR thing, and you'll love it, right? We can help you do that. So the next thing we want to do is every ad that you do should not necessarily be admissions open. Take a look at this ad right now, and I hope it makes sense to you.
पहले आ ना पहले आ ना
तहजीब जरा सड़कों पर भी दिखाइए. #Road Safety, an initiative by Swiss schools.
So, as you can see, like we not only do ads that are, oh, join my school, great teacher, great this, that. We do a lot of ads which are around goodwill. So we've done 5-6 such films about public safety, road safety, walking on the, left side of the road, all these things, right? So when we just go out and we look at the way people are driving or walking or anything, we start thinking of what are the kind of public service messages that we are able to put. So that what happens is, first of all, every marketing dollar that we spend, rather than just saying, mere school aa jao, mere school aa jao, mere school aa jao, can I also help serve the community and help the community learn? So we create lots of different videos like that. It's not just one, we create lots of different videos like that. And we can show you some of these videos. There's a lot of videos that we can show you, but we can show you some of these things and you will start seeing that, that a lot is possible. For example, this is a video that we made entirely using AI. Entirely using AI. We just made it like a week ago.
मॉर्निंग असेंबली की लाइन और रिसेस में टिफिन शार, टीचर का शाबाश और एक रीअश्योरिंग थपकी, गली क्रिकेट, गर्मियों में गोला खाना.
So I don't want to show you the whole video, but I'm just saying that we are now able to create so many amazing things in a post-AI world. And those are things that, John Matthew, it's GTM, Google Tag Managers, okay? That allows you to retarget people and reduce your cost. Because when someone has already come to your page, Facebook and Google know that they have come, they will show them the ad. If you go today to Amazon and if you look at a particular lipstick for the next 3 days or 5 days, wherever you go, you'll see that lipstick coming up because they have put a tag and they're tracking you. Right? So that is something that we can also use. Okay, so you saw public service messaging and things like that. Why? Because the marketing insight is parents trust schools that serve society, not just themselves. So if a school is only doing something, अरे इन लोग ने नया auditorium start किया, अरे वो तो खाली fees बढ़ाने का चक्कर में ये सब दिखा रहे हैं, all that. So you don't want people to start thinking such things. You don't want people to start making such assumptions about you. They need to genuinely see that you genuinely care about society and you all are doing things. Many of you are doing things, okay? Please don't think that I'm telling you that you're not doing. But I'm asking you to think more and see what is it that you can do, and I'll show you some more examples. Next one. Annual day. All of us do annual days. So we called our annual day swag. And you know how what we said? We told people that swag, because some kids in our school called and said, sir, swag, swag hota hai, hamara swag hai. And I'm like, what is this hamara swag hai? Iska matlab kya hai? And they said swag is like a attitude, like a behavior. And we said we have to get children to redefine what swag means, okay? And so we called our annual day swag, and we said, hum sab mein swag hai, hum sab mein attitude hai. And then we called people to our annual day. You know what we did? We asked children to identify 15 people in society who were, like people who are doing exceptionally good work, like doctors, lawyers, things like that, people who are doing community work. Our kids went to their house, did a survey with them, came back to the school, used used AI, created an entire playback theater about their life, played it back to them. We call them as chief guests, played it back to them with song and dance and LED support, and literally these people were crying on stage saying, isse acha, we've never had an experience. Last year for swag, we had over 12 people who our children selected, and they created 12 dramas. This year we have 16 people who our children have selected. Between last year and this year, we have now created 30 people in our area who've got awards from us. These 30 people are calling us every day and saying, kuch kaam hai kya, aapko kuch help chahiye kya, kuch support chahiye kya. 30 people, like some of the most, people with the highest levels of achievements in our area, community-wise, not wealth-wise, but community-wise, respect us. Think of the goodwill that is happening, right? Look at all these people. This was swag, yeah?
In my life, I dance on the stage first time. At home, she makes me dance. I am speechless too. Today, I don't know, one after another.
This gentleman runs a YouTube channel that brings the history of Vasai to life. This gentleman does a lot of beach cleaning every day on Vasai beaches.
How the performance of all the students are.
This gentleman is one of the biggest lawyers in our area who also helps people who don't have money to access legal services.
So I have lost words.
You see, all of them are just speechless. So you're able to create such opportunities using the things that you have to do anyway, right? You have to do an annual day. Can you think of a way that you can get more people to become part of that? And you know, you'll be able to. So marketing insight here is events are not just programs, they are branding moments. All right. So I hope that you know that you will pick up something for that. Every school teaches, as I said, every school teaches essay writing. We took essay writing and we took that and we made that into a program and we call that Word Leader. Not just call it Word Leader, we created a book called Word Leader. We created a website called Word Leader, and we asked children, 500 kids in our school every year, write books. So we taught them how to create a plot, we taught them how to use ChatGPT to correct it, we taught them how to use Canva and design the book. Every year 500 children release their books, and now we've told them that okay, you guys learned how to do it, now learn how to sell your books. So literally kids are coming to us and saying, sir, yesterday हमने 150 रुपया कमाया, घर पे कोई आया था, and uncle said, can I take you out for ice cream? And I told him, नहीं, ice cream तो सेहत के लिए अच्छा नहीं है, but why don't you buy my book from Word Leader? You know, and literally like kids have started doing that. And what we are doing this year is we are asking children in our school that 500 of you start writing books about Nalasopara. Now imagine if 500 children this year write about stories about Nalasopara. If anyone even types the word Nalasopara on Google, look at the SEO, the organic reach, the discovery that's going to immediately happen. Nobody has written anything about Nalasopara, correct? So think about that opportunity that you have, and the goal that we've set is we want to get to 5,000 books, and we want to get to a stage where every year 1,000 new books are written by our kids, and that's going to come into our library. Already our library has 1,000 books written by our kids. We want 10,000 books written by our kids in our library over the next 3 to 4 years, and then we want to make it a community library and reach 100,000 books written by kids in Nalasopara. Right? You don't have to wait for someone to come to you who to think about this as a business model and make it happen for you. You can just do it right away. Here's a small video you can see.
We want children to develop authority. We said, let's make them authors.
My experience to write my story and create my own first storybook was very amazing and interesting. My teachers and friends helped me in the journey of writing.
While I was scrolling through my phone, a video popped on my screen like what would happen if you fall into your dreams. At that sudden moment, I was thrilled by the topic and I was sure that yes, I am going to write about this topic. My school has a World Leader project which helped me brainstorm about it, and I'm very happy and glad about the final product.
Through this project, different skills were nurtured and fostered in the students. They developed 21st century skills like creativity, critical thinking, collaboration and communication.
हम सब लोग वैसे सोचते हैं कि हमारा बच्चा ये बनेगा वो बनेगा, मगर ऐसा कभी नहीं सोचते कि मेरी बेटी या बेटा कभी ऑथर या पोएट भी बन सकता है.
The aim of designing this project.
I hope you see how we are creating IP. One of the questions was how do we create IP I hope you're able to see that this is one way that we are creating IP. You see, the marketing insight here is when you create a brag-worthy output, parents become your marketers. You see, most of the time, parents don't know what to say about your school. If you are saying, हम पिछले 45 years से हम school चलाते हैं, हमारे पास 4 प्लेग्राउंड है, हमारे पास बड़ा ऑडिटोरियम है, हमारे पास we have a very good library, we have air conditioned classrooms. Parents are not going to go and tell people that. Only you will tell people that. Parents will not tell people that. Parents will share stories about their experience and their psychological effect that you've had on them, or the affect that they've experienced, right? So many a times we need to be able to create and give parents the words, the language, the script for them to be able to actually share with others. ऐसे बताओ आप लोगों को. You see, and the best way for you to be able to train your parents to become your marketers so that word of mouth spreads is for you to give them an authentic experience. And trust me, if you're in this room, you can think about this, because I'm not just talking out of my head. I'm also giving you examples and showing you things what we have done with limited resources. In a pre-AI world, in a post-AI world, we are on steroids. We can do like 10 times faster, right? So now in a post-AI world, strategy is even more important, because you can now do pretty much anything. What you should do will come from your clarity. Earlier, whatever you wanted, you couldn't do unless you had the resources in terms of the intellectual capital available to you. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense. If any one of you has gone and bought glasses from Lenskart, you will be like, "Arey, आपका optometrician कहाँ है?" And suddenly when Zoom opens and the optometrician comes on Zoom, and then you're like there. But I guess there is some legal requirement that an optometrician needs to be there in any of these shops for eye checking. So someone is there, but the person who's there is not as good as the person remote. So think about it for a second. Yeah, if you as a PRO, I am speaking to you with love. Okay, for what I'm going to say next, please understand I'm speaking to you from a place of love and compassion. If you are a PRO or an admission counselor, you are at risk of being replaced by a remote PRO or a remote counselor. I have gone to a Bloom hotel and I went to the reception. There's no receptionist to check me in. There was a computer and randomly somebody popped up and said, "I can check you in." So there will be companies that will come and say, "Sir, आपका सबसे बड़ा problem है, your marketing team is not able to convince parents, so we'll set up a call center somewhere and 10 people will sit there and they will do this and that. आपको बस ये करना है, Lenskart में कैसा किया वैसा, and we will do remote operations for you. वैसे भी आपका admission counselor you need only for 3 months a year, बाकी का time आप क्या करो?" All these things will start happening. But if you start thinking about that, and the marketing team is the most strategic team of the school, if you start taking control, if you start accepting and grow into this role that you have, you will be able to change the destiny of your school. I believe that. All right. So here's my next thing. Read for change. Everybody wants to read. Everybody wants to read. The whole of India is talking about FLN, blah, 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 right? And immediately what we did is one of the persons in my school, well, my wife, she went and learned about reading. And then she came back and she created a curriculum about reading, phonics curriculum, and then she started taking trainings. Then we started documenting that trainings and we started spreading that knowledge in the community. And so we created IP. What is the IP we created? Hamara curriculum. What we did? We are talking about how we do, phonics and this and that and all that. And then all our videos are then not for sales and promotions, but for creating goodwill. So you have that opportunity today. Earlier, you would not be able to do it, but today you can.
Recently, we hosted a fun and interactive phonics program with expert Ria Wilbrord for many years. Ria has been guiding our teachers annually, ensuring that they improve and upgrade their skills. Using an interactive TV panel and alphabet flashcards, Ria's engaging actions made it a joyful session filled with smiles and laughter. But what is phonics? Phonics teaches the relationship between letters.
Just giving you an example here so you understand how you can create IP at each level. Why? Because a parent may come in nursery and say, nursery mein kya unique hai? Wo batao. So we need to have something really strong there, something that is pedagogically sound, something that is based on research, and something that we can really deliver. So here is an opportunity that you have as well. So that is a Read for Change program. And from 1st to 5th in our school, we took license of a company called ABC Reading, A to Z Reading, and we download 5,000 of their books. We've given 75 books for each child from 1st to 5th. And we've told them that you need to read these books every single day in school. So in the first 10 minutes, they have a reading time in the school. From 1st standard to 5th standard, a child reads book number 1 to book number 300 or 350 or something like that. And literally, every 5th standard kid in our school stands up and says, "Main 300 book padha hai. Main 300 book padha hai." I am 3 times a CEO because an average CEO reads 50 books a year. You know, it builds that confidence in children and allows them to go back and really say. So a parent gets really scared to leave our school because they're saying, "मैं ये school छोड़ दूंगा, दूसरा school में I'll get AC, I'll get air conditioning, I'll get playground, I'll get PT, I'll get this, but I won't get Word Leader, I won't get Read for Change, I won't get the swag program, I won't get the Wow Phonics, I won't get this and I won't get that." That, remember, it's not about what people can add into the dish, it's about what they do not want to let go of. That's what you want to create. Making sense, guys? Is it making sense? Okay, not okay? You know, please share your thoughts. And as I go to case study number 8, and that's called the Daily Dose of Awesome. It's simple. We took Google Calendar, we brought it down and we put it and we created a calendar for kids and we said, why should you learn to become an organizer when you're 35 years old and your wife is going to tell you you can't organize your life for nuts, right? You can start learning that right now. So we created a Google Calendar sort of thing for kids. We put our explicit school values. I'm happy to share that with you. We put our explicit school values and we said there are 3 things about our school. Results equal to commitment. Not commitment equal to result. Result equal to commitment. Every second learning. Yeah. These are the 2 or 3, this thing, anchor statements in our school, and we based that planner on these anchor statements and we started teaching children psychological concepts, simple, small psychological concepts, name your feeling, things like that. And so we created this book and kids love it. And there have been messages I've got, we introduced this 10 years ago, there have been messages that I've got from parents as well as students saying, "Sir, I'm in my first year MBA and the Eisenhower matrix that you showed me or the SWOT that you showed me, I am so happy that I learned that in Nalasopara in 6th standard under your guidance." Imagine the goodwill that guy got, right? So one of the tricks here is teaching children what their parents are learning allows parents to see immediate value. If a parent is learning AI in his organization and his boss is saying, "AI seekh lo yaar, AI seekh lo," at that time if he comes home and if he sees that his child is learning AI, parent will say, "Mera bachcha future ke liye ready hai." Right? Drop the delay, remove any delay in this. So these are certain things that I'm happy to share what that book looks like and things like that. And that'll really help. In the same way, we created another series called the Willcraft series. My mom is 87. She sits at home and she's written a storybook. She's written a set of 50 stories. We took that, we put it into ChatGPT and said, look at these 50 stories and sequence them into 10 different stories and give us curriculum for standard 1 to 5. And then we expanded that using ChatGPT and Canva, and we created our own value education book.
From standard 6 to standard 10. Every day in the morning meeting in school, they are going to be discussing incredible topics that really are going to build their character and personality. For example, some of the chapters in this book is about the essence of me, or the everyday toolkit, which is the true reasons we learn. There's a beautiful chapter about.
All right, I just wanted to show you that much, and it's really, you have that opportunity. I know there's a school here from Aurangabad. I know there's a school from Aurangabad, right? You're here, right? And imagine, what are the things that a child in Aurangabad is not able to do that a child in Bombay is able to do? Can you make that into a book, and can you make that into a program? Programs need not be a 1 year long thing. It could be a 1 day program. Okay. Today you have the power to use AI to create all that and do more. So go ahead and do that. And this is the last thing I wanted to share with you. Maybe it's the last thing. Okay. It is called the public staff room. You know what we did? There were teachers who left the job when they were working with us. When they left the job, they would leave our WhatsApp group. And what I did immediately is I put them into another WhatsApp group called the public staff room. So teachers still feel connected to us, because chances are when a teacher leaves your school for the first 2 months now, she's going to say all the choicest things against you because no one likes, a separation. All right. So we put them in this group. Every time we did an interview for teachers, if we wanted to hire 5 teachers, we would get 25 people who'd come for the interview. The 5 we hire, the 20 we put in the public group. So we have 1,012 members on this group, all teachers from my area, and we have 4 or 5 groups like this. What does that mean? That means that we have over someone sharing their screen. Okay. We have over 4,000, 5,000 teachers who are who came for our interview or left our school or whatever, and they are here. And so we share things that we are doing. If I'm doing a workshop, I put in that group and say, for the teachers who want to learn, come do it. So many teachers have messaged me saying, sir, hamare school mein kuch training nahi hota. Just because you're doing what you're doing, we are able to learn something new. One day I want to join your school, sir. Yeah. So think about all these small, simple things that you're able to do. Not just this. Let me see if I can quickly share my screen with you. You will be able to see that I also have a group, I have various groups. These are like all Boisar parents. Like if somebody came to my school for inquiry in our Boisar school or something like that, or if we do any activities, we then immediately create groups where we are able to nurture the audience, right? We don't suddenly wake up to, when you want water, you want to build a well, you want to build a pipeline, right? Slowly and steadily and strategically. Okay. So that is something that we need to start thinking about. We are doing this not because we are losing admissions. We are doing this because we want the right parents to come to the right school. Because if you are an explorer school, you want parents looking for an explorer school to come to you. That is when true magic happens. Otherwise, every time you want to do something, you're an explorer. Every time you want to do something explorer related, the parents who are looking for safety will say, "Ye nahi karne ka humko." And you will never be able to do what you want to do, and you'll never be able to live your beliefs, because the people that you're serving are not coming there for your psychology, they're coming there for your infrastructure. And infrastructure is just infrastructure, right? Okay. What we also did in the same way is we created a teacher LMS, and you're able to see that. I realized that, humko teacher training roj karna padta hai. So is there a way for us to handle teacher training? And for that, we created a program called learn.willybroad.in, and more than 450 courses are here. And these are all courses created by our teachers. And what we are doing now, we have 250 or 200 teachers, but inside this group, inside this channel, we have like 1,500 teachers. So who are these teachers? These are teachers from outside. So this also helps us in teacher training, and it also helps us in creating a leadership pipeline, and now we are asking teachers of our school to also take workshops online in their own language. So imagine, as a school, you're not just like catering to kids, you're also catering to the internal customers of your organization, which is every single member of your staff. Every single member of your staff needs to learn more from you. Keep that in mind. When a teacher leaves our school, most of the time they say, sir, एक की चीज we feel bad about कि हमारा training आज से बंद होगा, हम आज से सीख नहीं पाएंगे, we are not going to learn anything new today. And when teachers come back after 5 years or 8 years, many of them say, हम अभी भी वहीं हैं. When we left you, we still feel we are there, but many of the people in your team have really grown ahead. So really remember, one of the most important people are the students who are paying fees, but even more important are the teachers and the staff that are working with you. You want to make them better every single time, and because of AI, all that is incredibly possible today. So the insight here is, expertise demonstrated publicly becomes automatic credibility. When I go and take workshops in another school, or when I go across the country and do workshops, people say, "Arey, why are you going and doing workshop for, for whatever, for very little, let's say, financial remuneration? If you work in your school, you'll get much more through admissions and things like that." What people also see is, one of the biggest factors that builds your brand is if people have a pride of association. Are they proud of being in your school? And when your team members see that you are respected and accepted outside, there is a higher chance of you being able to influence the way your academic agenda can come through. And parents also believe you more, students also believe you more, and parents start feeling, at least in Nalasopara and Boisar, parents will feel, तो क्या हुआ अगर हम बोईसर में हैं? We are still getting what somebody in Delhi or Bangalore or Chennai is getting, because our people are going and training there. You see, so there are a lot of things that we'll have to do, because these are all adding to credibility and authority. One of the things that we did in our school is we created WhatsApp help desk more than 10 years ago. This is a WhatsApp help desk. Parents can send WhatsApp to us. If you actually signed up for this workshop, you may have got a message, and that message would have come from this WhatsApp server. And really, our parents keep sending us messages. And you see, these are people, you would have got the link and things like that. You're able to see, look at the amount of messages that we get, and we are able to see how many new people have contacted us, how many parents are sending us messages, what are their problems, all kinds of things you can actually see. And if any of these messages are assigned to me, or if any of them are open, like someone here is saying, I beg to respect my native place due to some urgent thing, whatever. So imagine, as the trustee of the school, as the chairman of the school, I am able to see what over 4,500 parents are sending to the school, right? And that keeps my ears to the ground. Even if I'm in Nagpur taking a workshop, I have my ears on the ground, because that's the voice of the customer. And that is perhaps one of the most essential things that you can do when it comes to understanding your audience, so that you'll be able to do something about it. Here's one of the things that we did. We created AI-powered class letters. When a parent comes to us and says, "Sir, give me a brochure," and I'm like, "Which standard do you want to take admission in?" They say, "We want to take admission in 4th standard." We're like, "Why do you want to look at the school brochure? वो तो झकासी होगा. Look at what our 4th standard teacher has done last year." I wish I could send you the link, but it's actually currently down. Our teachers, all of our teachers, go to Canva, open a page, and use their phones to document the life of every child in that classroom. And every month they use ChatGPT and they use images and they create a newsletter. Every month the newsletter has 20 pages. In a year it becomes 250 pages. And children go every month and show it to their parents, because parents want to see photographs of their own kids. And this becomes a memorabilia, this becomes like an artifact that parents have. Over the past 3-4 years, parents have come to us and say, हमारे बच्चे का पिछले 3 साल का 600 pages का documentation है, and this teacher has done it. And they have such gratefulness and gratitude for that teacher. And what we also do is, all those Canva links are brought into one landing page. So there will be like, we have 80 divisions in the school, so 80 different Canva links connected on one landing page. Again, on that landing page, we have GTM and we have Facebook Pixel. So anyone who comes to that landing page, because the parent will share it with neighbors, will share it with other people in the community, those guys will come to the landing page. So the next time we want to run a performance marketing ad, we can just immediately display our ad to those people, and that dramatically drops our cost of acquisition. So these are all things that we have to do. We do it with utmost authenticity, but we also then have to be a little strategic so that we can run a sustainable organization. So I hope that that is something that you found interesting. Here's one thing I want to say. Once you have created your persona and things like that, it would be really nice for you to create, or we can help you do that, create brand guidelines. This is an example of brand guidelines. This is an example of the brand guidelines of our school, and it tells us what you should use, how you should use it, how it should look like, what should be the kind of photography, what should be the tone of communication. It should be inspirational, honest, modern, confident. What kind of CTAs you need to put, what kind of designs you need to have, what kind of tonality you need to have, what is your mission. Our mission is to always seek what's next. That's our mission, and we did this 4 years ago. So obviously when AI came out, we were like, agar hum nahi karenge AI to kaun karenge? So you understand why clarity is so important, because it informs our behavior and our actions. This is me. This is my personal brand guidelines. Many of you know me as somebody who went under W, right? So W is my logo. And if you notice here, I want to share my guidelines with you. I've never shared it with anyone, but this is what my guidelines look like. Yeah, a coach, speaker, and educationist. And my personality traits have to be a positive spirit, optimistic, cheerful, and adventurous. So even in this workshop, if you don't feel that I have an infectious smile, right, and happiness that spreads to each person, I am then not really working as per my brand guideline. So what is unique about my brand guideline, right? And how does my logo look like? What is accepted? What is not accepted? What is the kind of colors I use? What is the font faces I use? What is the kind of images that I use, right? Otherwise, every time we use a different designer, he will do whatever he wants to do, and he will take the brand to any level, right? So when you create these clear guidelines and visual references, then you can now work with any other designer, because now they will then be able to serve your brand purpose and pretty much nothing else. So I just wanted to share this with you, and there's so much more to share and things like that. But I recognize that it's been an hour and a half, and I wanted to show you certain theories of marketing and branding. I wanted to show that all these things, when you know the theory, you can go to ChatGPT, you can go to Grok, you can go and you can say, I want to create a personality brand archetype for my school. Ask me 10-15 questions, which I will answer, so that you can tell me what my archetype is. You can then take data from your students, upload it without their personal identifiable information like address and phone number and Aadhaar card and all. And you can say, this is the profile of my students. You can put it on ChatGPT, and you can say, what are the different personas, customer persona that I have in my school? And then I can use that persona to then create more personalized marketing material, so that more people like them will come to your school, and slowly and steadily you become a happy school. You become a happy school when you are able to do things that people desperately want, and both of you are doing the same thing. that's when you're in a state of flow, and that will bring in some sort of happiness. It is now 8:58. I've been talking for 90 minutes, guys, and really, big gratitude to you that you guys have been listening and you've been paying attention. And I just wanted to ask Simon to share if he has any quick strategy that y'all can use when it comes to your marketing and your promotions and this thing. And in the meanwhile, if you guys want to put something on the chat, go ahead and put it. But over to you, boss.
I think I'm speechless after everything that Willie shared. And while I know Willie quite well and we work together, a lot of these things were new to me as well. So what I'll do is I'll focus on some aspects. Just give me a second. I'll just share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to play something which I created some time ago, and let's see what you figure out of this. So if people can put in the chat box, what happens next? What do you think this video is all about? Any guesses? For some reason I'm unable to see the chat. Just for 1 second, I'll come to it. Wall paint. Vinita Sukumar really wanted to know what happened. Okay, so which product is this? Any guesses? Ketchup. Yeah, that's an intelligent guess. Good observations. So all I did right now is I just used a hook to get you hooked to my story. And after such an energetic session from Willie to get my attention in some form, I thought this hook would be interesting to have. So I've been telling stories for brands like Asian Paints, Amazon, Godrej over the last many years. And the reason I started with what is a hook is what I feel is for schools. Hook is a great way to get parents to get hooked onto your story. So each time you do something to catch their attention, that's where they'll be doing it. So a quick background. So being a decade plus in advertising, I think my most fulfilling years were teaching my kids during the pandemic. And I taught them how to make videos. I figured a lot of things. And I realized that these are Gen Alpha kids and the parents are also a very different set of parents. So what we did is we did something called video labs in schools, where the idea behind video labs is children come together and they make video projects. And when they come together and make video projects, they are great ambassadors for the school, how they speak, what is the projects all about, so on and so forth. So now we run video labs in around 125 schools. And while I was working with these schools, I noticed something in common. So what do you see in these three images? Is there anything common between these three images? So if anyone wants to speak, please, you can speak or you can put stuff in the chat window itself. So any guesses what this is all about? Willie, so when I'm sharing, I'm unable to read the comment. So if you can kind of read, that will be awesome.
Happenings of a school, says Manpreet.
Okay.
Preeti Chaturvedi says school events.
Uh-huh. Anyone else?
Raki says profile of some organizations. Nirali says school activity. Vinita says celebrations of winners and winners. Navneet says reels shot by students. Alvin Thomas says marketing. And Bhagavati says reels. And Manita says thumbnails. Vinita says social media pages. And Sachi Manik says a chaotic Instagram page. There's a lot of emotion there.
Okay. So the commonality, what you see are these are three different schools. And I was thinking I'll put up some of your schools itself. Then I thought, okay, let me not upset anyone. But typically, schools look like this because all schools tend to be news reporters where they talk about what's the event which happened. There's an annual day that happened. There's a festive greeting. There is a student achiever photo. So if I kind of, blur all the handles of different schools, you'll see that I can safely say that 70 to 80% of the schools remain the same. And the reason is they don't do storytelling. There's a lot of event reporting which happens. And the reason is school leaders who are part of the group here or people who are looking at various aspects, marketing or storytelling is not the core focus because running a school, and I've been to Willy School a lot of times, that once a school owner or head of school is in, there are hundreds of things which are happening, and therefore storytelling is not the focus. Now, the fact is every school has a story. Are you telling yours well is the most important thing. So what I would suggest is use something that we've created, which is called a story framework. This is to kind of keep you on track, where S stands for school showcase. So if you're a good school or a great school, you'll focus on the pedagogy, that what is being taught. And that's what, if you looked at what Willy showed you, it is talking about the pedagogy, that they have a word leader program, there is swag, there are multiple things which they are doing. So focus on that, whereas majority of the schools will share that I have infrastructure, I have an auditorium, I have tennis courts, I have this, so on and so forth. So that differentiation, a parent will get it, that, okay, this school is great, I want my child to go to this school. The second aspect is the values of a school. I always feel that as a parent, all of us are sending our child to a school where we are able to connect with the values of the school. Your values as well as my values need to align. So therefore, show the parents the values. So we often write values on the walls of a school. There's our mission, there's our vision, but parents need to see the values in action. And just like how Willy has kind of brought about many of these values in action, that is what you need to focus on. Now, if you are a founder-driven school, just like how Willy has created a personal brand for himself by doing podcasts, and I thought it was a very relevant point that he made, that why as a school owner he should go to other schools. It's creating a very powerful brand. And each time I go somewhere with Willy, there's some teacher or the other who knows Willy already. And I feel almost insignificant traveling with Willy at some point of time. Then the fourth aspect is real world stories, because finally a parent today doesn't want the child to do rote learning. So therefore, can you show real world? Now, one important aspect I missed in our school, our story. So just don't keep it to the founder or the head of school. Show everyone behind the scenes. Show the security guard, show the bus conductor, show the people who are working in your kitchen, so on and so forth. Then as a parent, I know this is something which I can trust. So if you look at something which happens in the restaurant industry, is that open kitchen started, right? Where you enter a restaurant and you see that, okay, I can see everything. Now, obviously, it's a lot of effort to keep an open kitchen, right? You have to keep everything clean. You have to do the entire functioning well. But an open kitchen gives you this comfort that here, I don't need to be worried about what's happening in the kitchen. It'll be good food. I can see everything. Similarly, in your school, all the trust markers, that is the staff good? Is the head of school good? How are the people going to behave with my child? All of these are aspects which needs to come up on your social media. And the last aspect, which I still feel that whenever I look at school pages, today a young mother who is seeking admission into your school is 28, 29, and their default is Instagram. And yesterday also I had met a gentleman and he said, oh, we don't do anything on Instagram. No parents and teachers are so active on Instagram. But the reality is, teachers, when I do a survey with teachers, if there are 100 teachers, at least 80, 85 teachers are on Instagram, and almost 90, 95 parents are on Instagram. So that is the reality. So when a school is producing content, They are still doing it in landscape mode, whereas on Instagram, you want scroll-worthy portrait mode. Also, the kind of content you're putting up a 10-minute video, but so my wife starts her day and ends her day with Instagram, and anything which is more than 30 seconds, she will just scroll away saying that it's too boring or too long. And that's the parent that you're communicating to. So therefore, how do you get these elements right? So what I suggest what you can do is do an audit of your own school. So this is a framework I created with a lot of love to share with schools. So please do an audit on your own. Now, this is a sample audit of a school which I had done. And most schools will score very poorly on youth content. They'll score poorly on transformative values. And that's what a typical school will look like for you. So what you can do is create a summary for yourself that what is working online, what is not working online, and how do I get my score up. So that is what you need to focus on. Now, what is the advantage of using a story framework is that if you are not using a story framework, there's hardly any storytelling. So which means that you are going to do a lot of event reporting, which is obviously not going to help your cause. So today, all of you have given a big thumbs up to Willie. And what he's done is he's created a story. He's talked about his story, what it is. That's what you need to do. If you're doing storytelling, according to me, engagement automatically happens. So a lot of times the school owners say we are, putting so much effort, but we are not getting any likes, we are not getting any shares, etc. According to me, if you do good work and you kind of obviously hack the Instagram algorithm, you do a few performance tweaks here and there, good storytelling leads to engagement. And just like how Willie showed you his entire brand guideline. So if you have a brand consistency, each time somebody sees your creative, it is not random. There is a sound to it. There's a visual identity to it. All of these ensures that your brand becomes prominent online. So I'm going to show you a few videos using the story framework so that you get an idea. So we do work with schools, and what I'm sharing is our set of examples. Now I've largely picked one school so that you see the transition across the different values. So here, what I'm going to show you is a video where a school is trying to attract admission in the younger or the early age groups, right? So therefore, you want to show how you are different compared to a regular school.
Reading card is an add-on which helps them to understand a particular concept. We do have circle time discussion. So what we do is we try to bring in a simple fact card which my age group children can read very easily. Generally one-liner, a lot of pictures. They can also infer information. Looking at the pictures, they can draw about it, they can record about it.
We make sure that the children practice it, they have worked with it.
So quick question, if you can put in the comment, and Willie, you'll have to help me read those because again, I won't be able to read. So quick question, what elements are there in this video? If you were to deconstruct the video so far, why would this kind of video make sense for a school? If you can just quickly comment what you understood.
Vinita says skill-based learning is showcased.
Okay.
Focusing on skills. Rita Shah is saying focusing on skills.
What else? Anyone else quickly?
Okay, positive teacher engagement.
Positive
it shows actual use of your philosophy. Students relate with experience, teaching pedagogies, interaction with kids. Yeah.
Awesome. So here, if you look at it, just to help you deconstruct when you start creating your own films, etc. So one is a parent wants to know, are the teachers of these schools good? That is something running in their head, right? That, okay, the school, I've heard about it, but are the teachers good? When they see the teachers on video, talking confidently, talking about the philosophy of teaching, it automatically differentiates the school. It comes across as a school which has a method of teaching, and the teachers look qualified. They know what they are talking about. And what you're doing is just like I talked about the open kitchen. And here's, as a kid, the first time I saw Rumali roti being made and the restaurant owner putting it out there, it catches your attention that this is what it is. That is exactly what this kind of a video does. It catches a parent's attention that, oh, this school is quite cool. They teach the kids in a innovative fashion. And that is something which will work much better than saying my school has 40 classroom, it has 50 smart boards. This is what I see with most of the school communication, that we have smart board, we have auditorium, so on and so forth. Focus on this, you'll get a lot of results. Now I talked about values. Let's see a school's values in action.
Namaste. It means Namahate in Sanskrit, which means I bow my head to the divine soul that you have in front of me. So it is not a simple salutation. It is rather recognizing the divine soul, the spark that you have within you. And joining the hands, it signifies that we are all one, which gives us the cosmic energy.
So in this video, what you saw is essentially for a parent to kind of relate. So if you are a traditional Indian parent who wants the child to have the right value system, Indian values, so on and so forth, and if your school is providing that, if a parent who is interested in that watches this video, the likelihood of them bookmarking and remembering, I think this school is good, this is where my child will learn values, will automatically come. Similarly, so value doesn't just mean Indian values, etc. Now your value could be, I want to focus on making the child confident. That itself could be a value that you follow, like how Willy School is doing. That also can be another way of looking at it. Now, if you are founders who, so there are a few founders in this group as well. And if you're a founder who can articulate properly, then we strongly recommend that you should come on camera. Now, when I shot this short podcast with Srini sir, till that time, he had never done a podcast. He was never coming on camera. And I realized that he is like with so much energy. Let's look at what we've done.
You write millions of correct answers, you'll get only a certificate. You ask one good question, you'll end up with a Nobel Prize. Every single child can get a Nobel Prize according to me.
So when you opened this school, was there any specific goal you had in mind?
We want to help each child to climb his or her own mountain. I want every child to be an expert in something.
So you think you've achieved these goals?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
So when you create a podcast and you come across as somebody confident, the parent automatically know I'm sending my child to a good school. There is a leader, he has a good thought process, all of that. Srini came for the first time and I thought it was one of the most interesting podcasts we had become part of. And that is what you can do. And when you get children to make podcasts, the parents love it. There is a lot of interaction which happens. They encourage each other. It shows that you have a culture where you are kind of nurturing young, confident learners. Now, I was saying that our school, our story is not just about the founder. It is also what happens behind the scenes. So when I went to Gear School for the first time, they invited me to have food in their kitchen because all food is grown in their garden and they invited. And my immediate reaction was, this is such a lovely place and we should make a film over here. So this is what we did.
हम जब छोटे छोटे थे ना तो हमारी मम्मी घर पे खाना बनाती थी तो हम लोग भी साथ में बैठ जाते थे कि मम्मी बना क्या रही है तो हमारा माइंड में उसी समय से छप गया कि जब भी मैं बड़ा होकर खाना बनाकर बच्चों को खिलाऊंगा। थोड़ा बच्चों को के इधर देखते हो वो काम करने में थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है मुझे। जैसे कि हम कभी सांभर बनाए या कुछ और भी आइटम बनाने के बाद में बच्चे कहते हैं अंकल ये बहुत अच्छा है तो मतलब हमें ना बहुत खुशी मिलती है।
Show genuine emotion that he's actually enjoying, he is enjoying his job. You'll see smiles all around, and there's nothing manufactured here. This is exactly how you go to the kitchen. It is like this. And that's a authentic story that you are doing. I have other videos where we've captured all the heroes of a school, which is the Aya, which is the security guard, the bus conductor. These do extremely well because a parent then comments on it. They feel this is great, I like the school. Now, I told you right in the beginning that my entire journey with schools started by setting video labs in schools. And here the entire intention is make these children your brand ambassadors because they can tell your story much better. So this is what a child has created while being part of the video lab class.
Having trouble going to sleep? Or you're having trouble controlling your craving? These are all signs of stress. And you know what causes stress? Not maintaining a healthy lifestyle. I'm sweat. So, cheers, mate. But how exactly do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? Well, go out for runs every day and do not stand staring at a book, even though you don't get anything. You can also try eating foods like this. But I feel I need to cook this first. Now, while this is cooking, let me tell you what healthy foods are. Foods except burger, pasta, Maggi, and noodles, things that you eat every Saturday and Sunday, are what are known as junk foods, aka the opposite of healthy foods. Now you would tell me this is what I eat every day, and that is why you're struggling like Kamla. Let's go visit Kamla, and that is how you will know what obesity is. Hello, I am Kamla, and Vivan told me to tell you about.
So in this video, if you see, the focus is real world learning, that you're talking about junk food, but in a format which is extremely relatable to a parent. When this kind of a video goes to a parent, two things happen. One, they see that, okay, the school is focused on practical real world topics. The second is when they see their children confidently talking or they see other children, they feel, okay, there's a lot of action happening in this school. And this is a video done completely by the child with hardly any intervention. We've obviously trained them. We have a curriculum which helps them, etc. So this is how a video lab in a school looks like.
Let's use this. Very interesting for us. Let's do it.
So here the kids are coming together and they are making a project. And what we've seen is it's very powerful, these kind of videos, to show behind the scenes, the learning in a classroom. The parent feels this is a new age school and something interesting which is happening. And the output you'll get through a video lab kind of a school. And you don't need to get us to make a video lab. You can create your own video labs. You can encourage them to do video projects.
Sphinx, as you can see, has a face of a human.
When a honeybee sits on a flower for collecting nectar,
This was the chemical reaction between vinegar and baking soda. And lithosphere forms the outer layer of Earth. Voila! Our delicious, fruitilicious berry blast is ready!
So if you're running a CBSE school, subject enrichment activities, art integrated activities, all of them can be run in the video lab. And that becomes a perfect way for you to market the school. So you don't have to put some extra effort to create marketing videos. Whatever videos are happening in the lab, you can do that. And you can also set up a podcast studio. So that's just to kind of give you a flavor. I'll skip this video in the interest of time. Now I'll come to the last one, which is why, which is youth focused content. So when it's youth focused, what you need to focus on is what kind of trendy formats are there on Instagram. So I'm just going to show you a couple, one featuring students, one featuring teachers.
Basic English, not English. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. It's easy. It's a piece of cake. It's raining a lot. It's pouring cats and dogs. So will you speak basic English or smart English?
So for a school, whatever is that you want to communicate. Now, this is for a semi-urban school where the parents of that locality want to focus on English. And this kind of a video will definitely get you to earn eyeballs over saying we have an English lab or we have a program. So now what Willie did with the Word Leader program is, again, he's in Nalasopara, where the aspiration of a parent is to speak good English, and therefore a Word Leader program is something which resonates. Similarly, you can do these reels to make it very interesting. So I'll end this segment with one last video so that everyone is clear about the story framework. So a lot of times I've seen that schools are very, formal about teachers. They're very uptight about teachers. I realize that a lot of times teachers interact in a very fun way with kids. And basis a real world interaction I saw where the teachers were being asked by kids, ma'am, do you know what this lingo means? So you have these popular teachers who, engage with children. So we ended up creating this video.
How do you spell it? You're slaying today. What does slay mean when we say it in school?
This seems like some kind of a Gen Z word. I think I don't know.
Do you know what POV stands for? It's point of view. So do you know what the word RIZ means? The word RIZ. How do you spell it? RIZZ. I have absolutely no idea. Ma'am, do you know? What's the RIZ that everyone's talking about?
RIZ, according to me, means charisma. Something which makes a person look attractive.
What does slay mean when you use it in school?
It means that you look awesome or you're doing something like really cool.
So we feel that if your culture is authentic, you can pull off videos like this. And my experience of storytelling over the years is finally stories are all inspired by real events. It's not really an imaginative thing, at least in the world of schools. So as long as you do authentic storytelling, you kind of get there. Now I'll come to the last segment because this entire workshop also talked about admissions. So therefore, let me show you some relevant videos when you are looking at creating your admission story.
Did you know that children remember only 10% of what they read, but up to 75% of what they do? Then don't you think instead of digging into textbooks, children should be learning by doing? That's why at Campus K, our idea of education is hands-on real-world learning. Children here not only learn science and math concepts, they analyze real-world problems, they conduct research, study and experiments, they present solutions, they design and build products, and much more. If that's the kind of school you're looking for your child, then reach out to us and we'll tell you more.
So if people can just quickly comment, I know that we are coming towards the end, but what elements in this video works? Because unless I get you to kind of internalize that, it will still not be clear what we've done over here. So what elements, and Willie, if you can just read out, so what elements of this video work from a parent's point of view? If people can quickly comment.
The teaching style, experiential learning was shown by Rita Shah.
Yeah.
Manpreet Kaur said teaching style. Anu Sharma said they're seeing the things in real time.
They're seeing the things in real time, because that is what you need to show a parent, that if my child comes here, this is what the USP it is, that this is what the parents are going to see. Now let's again take a look at
John Matthew saying you're creating a desire. And Manita is saying 21st century skills were visible. Manpreet was saying they're not just there to take admissions. They're just not there to take admissions, but they're also doing other things. Shrutika said students are becoming thinkers and innovators. Preeti Chaturvedi said students learn through experience, students involved, and there seems to be connect to real world.
Awesome. Let's play one more follow-up video to this.
Think about it. Everything around us, right from social media, entertainment, shopping, has all become customized to our needs. Then why shouldn't education be personalized? Here at Campus K, we do not believe in a one-size-fits-all approach. Each and every learner here has their own personalized learning plan. In fact, we have a dedicated team that works on identifying each child's skill profile. We then create personalized plans that addresses each child's learning needs. If you are looking for a school that personalizes your child's education, then reach out to us. We'll tell you more.
So if you look at these are 30-second ads which are communicating very clearly what the school stands for. It is showing what the school is all about. And the parent registers that, okay, if it is experiential learning, it's Campus K. If it is personalized learning, it's Campus K. So therefore, when you are making your admission related videos and marketing collateral, the messaging should be very clear that, okay, these are a couple of things which I want the parent because this is my TG and this is what they would look at. Now I'm going to play a slightly more evolved video. So the two videos you saw, they were very to the point. Now it's a slightly longer video.
We're Chennai's first IB-PYP school. Guess what that means? It means that we've got this time to get it all right. The thing is, we didn't adopt IB. We adapted it. We adapted it to what our learners need. We adapted it to what Chennai needs. So our students go through this learning path that's been designed to blend how the exploration of IB can come with depth and rigor that's really needed in an Indian system. And that's what makes our students stand out, that hard, good academic performance while having the skills to excel in the real world. If this makes you curious, drop by at Aksharar Board and we'll be happy to meet you.
So here again, if you look at it, the entire focus is on telling what the school stands for, that there is academic excellence, but real world learning, because those are the two aspects which a typical parent who is looking at an IB school will say, in an IB school, this rigor will not happen like CBSE. And that is what they are trying to kind of look at. So yeah, so this is just to kind of give you an overview. So today, 3 out of 4 parents are comparing schools before they come in. And therefore, building that trust on digital is something which will give you higher visibility, more leads, credibility, and more brand value. So that's just from my end, a quick overview. Now, this is something which I want to kind of leave you with, that Kodak invented the camera in 1975. They got bankrupt. Nokia was dominating the market. So I know some of you might be coming from schools where admissions aren't an issue. Some of you are running legacy schools where you already are doing good stuff. So whether you're running a legacy school or whether you're running a startup school, according to me, if you're not running your story online, unfortunately, you won't exist 5-10 years down the line. That's what the harsh reality is. And it's not to discourage anyone, but I thought it's important to show what we as marketers are seeing the world evolving. So yeah, so that's it from me. I hope you learned something from it. Over to you, Willie.
Thanks so much, Simon. And I'm also being conscious that it's 9:30, but if there are any questions that you may want to ask, then please share right now. That would be really, we are very happy to take any questions that you may have, anything that's top of mind. One of the questions that was asked by somebody was, do you ever think that we should hire somebody from outside to do our admissions? I can tell you one, that in the line of builders, earlier builders would do all the sales for projects, but now no builders do sales on their own. They actually give exclusive marketing rights to other agencies. And I believe, I mean, just random belief, I think that over the next 4-5 years, there may be companies that might come up which says that, sir, aapse marketing, you're not able to do marketing and all. So we will take over your entire marketing for 3-4-5% of your revenues. At that time, it's going to become so expensive. So it's better we just up the game internally ourselves. But that's just my opinion. Any questions does anybody have? It could be on digital marketing. How strong digital marketing should be? Digital marketing, Vinita, should be very, very strong, because people are really, going online to buy things. Every time you go on Zomato, I think you're looking at reviews and you're looking at reputation management, you're looking at everything. You don't believe it, but you still, the minute you see something good, you probably don't believe, but the minute you see something bad, you start believing immediately. So you have to think through. So you mean we can outsource our marketing or consulting? I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no. I'm just saying that things like this might happen. Simon, do you have a view on that? The question is, Bhavika is asking, so do you mean that we can actually outsource our marketing consulting?
So I feel it's a hybrid model that works the best, where you have experts who tell your story because they are the ones who come from a filmmaking background. People like us can step in, make videos, make a lot of brand strategy and sense. But we can't be every day in your school, right? That's not a possibility. And every day, I feel there's so many stories within the four walls of a school. So what I strongly tell everyone is build a hybrid system where work with somebody external who brings that expertise and use their expertise to nurture and develop your own teachers as storytellers. So that's something which we do in schools as well, which is every teacher should be able to capture the strong moments in the form of a story. Then you are building a culture of storytelling. That's what I feel is the best way, and not to outsource it completely.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I
Manpreet Singh,
agree.
go on.
I just want to say one thing. Whatever you said was correct. You know, we should showcase what we are doing, what teachers are doing. Teachers are really working hard on what they are doing. We should showcase that. But I don't really believe we should have somebody outsourced for marketing and branding and, you know, I don't know. That's what is my experience.
Yeah.
So I feel it's all a function of the right partner that you focus on. And I think your own convictions, what you feel is the best way to go with it. What you feel is the best way is what I personally
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, thank you. But this was very informative and really thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Willie, and thanks, Simon. This is Dr. Aparna here. So just wanted to know one thing is you said that we should be on digital media. What should there be a frequency? Like, should we be visible every day, or like should the posts keep on changing daily, or we have to focus on the quality of the posts that we are putting up? So like there are so many activities going on in a school. So everyone wants to know whether my post should go up on the social media daily or not.
Yeah, I have a view, and then Simon can take it because it's a very interesting question, and I also think like most people are suffering with this. So let's look at it this way. Short answer. Social media is an evolution. We did not actually get to Instagram the way we got right now. We did not get to Facebook the way we got right now. And earlier, before this, we were using newsletters and we were using things like that, right? And because of that, parents started thinking that ये जो social media है is like internal communication of the school. They would also sometimes ask you to put circulars on it. अरे कल school बंद है तो वो भी डालो, things like that. Now at one point in time, now the world has understood that this is social media and this is not internal communication of the school. Because if it is internal communication of the school, a parent can troll on a post and say आपका school बकवास है, आप कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो, ये है वो है, and things like that, right? And that time we go and tell parents that this is not the right channel to have this conversation. That means, what is this a good channel for, or what is it a good medium for us to use this? And it is not to use it like an internal newsletter of the school. It is used to communicate the brand, set the expectation, set the perspective, set the perception, and things like that. So every time that you want to post something, you have to look at quality, because if the quality is not there, it's going to affect perception anyway. And then you will have to do even more work to be able to convince that person. Remember, most people are now checking out people online. Before I go to my friend's house, which I've gone 500 times in my life, I still open Google Maps to see if it is all blue or is there any red, which means people are digital first today. Right? And that is my 2 cents, Simon.
Yeah, so less is more if you don't have a full-time influencer kind of mindset person who is there in your school. If you are Willy, then every hour you can post and create a lot of buzz and run it. So that's my answer, Aparna.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So anything with a good story can go up.
Yeah.
And as long as you have that mindset that you're not doing event reporting, but telling a story, I think that's important, because what most school owners, when I meet, they're saying, we are already doing a lot of Instagram, and then you do your own review and you'll realize that, oh, you're just doing event reporting, which now just put yourself in a shoe of a parent like me. Now, okay, I know there are hundreds of things which are happening in your school. I really am not so kicked about it, right? As a parent, I'm like, okay, some things are happening. So therefore, if you do something unique and show me, then as a parent, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then I'm going to like it and engage versus doing a lot of event reporting.
So sometimes what happens is we forget and then we put it up as late posts. So
Yeah. So one of the things that I would share here is I was asked this question also once, and I asked this question to somebody else, and the answer they said is very simple: post only what brings more respect to the organization and brand.
Perfect.
Okay. That is something that you can. So Kajal, wait. Sorry. I think a very interesting question someone has asked. Kajal Gupta said, "What is the first thing new generation parents want to look while selecting a school for his ward?" Everybody wants to know the answer. Simon, India wants to know.
1 second, I didn't read the question.
The question is very interesting. What is the first thing a new generation parent wants to look up while selecting school for his ward? Everybody else also wants to know this answer. Right now, what do you think it could be?
No, I feel the largely what I have seen, and I've got this entire set of parents who make these decisions. It's largely a couple of things. One is what the parent feels like about the school, that I want to send my child to IIT. So therefore it is one kind of school. I want my child to, not do rote learning. So one is that philosophy of learning that a parent is looking at. And that's why I keep saying that if you are creating a video series which is talking about your philosophy, that is where you will hook the parent in, because I have seen that within the WhatsApp groups of the society I stay in, they'll keep forwarding stuff and they'll say this is what it is. So therefore, that is the single biggest thing they are looking at, which is a value alignment and a philosophy alignment. That's what I feel.
I also feel like a lot of us can take, like I'm seeing an answer from Aparna Kakad saying safety. Yeah, definitely. Like, so that's when you start seeing the, the Maslow's hierarchy, right? The psychological needs, safety needs. I think as people start growing up there, they start thinking like, yeah, safety is going to be a given. It's a hygiene factor. Like every school needs to have safety. He's not going to select a school which is not safe, right? Now means safety plus what? Ye bhi. And I actually feel that a new generation parent today really is a little different. They are little rebellious. They want more meaningful work. They are anti-establishment. They don't want to go to big things. They want to go to small things. You and I would die to go to a mall, or a mall jana hai. But today the new generation parent wants to go to a small boutique, ढूंढ के निकलेगा कहीं से, and you and I wanted to go to a hotel, like, if some anniversary, anniversary gift for my parents, I took them to a 5-star hotel, and my mom was like, what is this? ये चाय तो मैं घर पे भी बनाऊंगा इससे अच्छा. But today's new generation parents will go to some far-flung, lodge in a jungle. They'll go to Airbnb. So it is showing us that the buying behavior or the trend is going against big things and going towards more smaller things and more meaningful things. Now, I know your school personally, and it is massive, right? So how do you now create or communicate that we are a intimate community, although we are big? Right? How do we create that sense of wonder, that sense of intimate community, learning community thing, and how that we are all connected, and how that no one will get lost, and how this is our mission, and things like that. I think people are looking for the big whys, is what at least most people are talking about. Anyway, so yeah, cool. So
I had one question. Can I please ask?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to ask, sir, like if in spite of doing many things for promoting your school, right? That is, it can be social media promotions, or it can be camping, or branding activities, or events, or workshops, or play dates, many more things we are doing for our school, right? In spite of doing many things, still the admission ratio what we are getting is very low. So what measures can be taken so that we can improve on this?
Look at it from a funnel perspective, that it is never 0 to 10. It is 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10, right? So 0 is when the time the person has decided to join the school or is considering. 10 is the time when admission is actually taken. It's called a consideration cycle. You have to look at each stage of that cycle. At what stage is the dropout happening? If tomorrow 300 children leave your school, the first data point you're going to ask is at which standard se sabse zyada admission ja rahe, right? So start doing some little bit of data analysis to find out where are you losing, at what stage are you losing. Are you losing the stage between the first stage and the, where they thought that the school is X amount of money, but then later they found it is more, or when, so identify which stage it is. And for each stage, you got to tweak that funnel. It's called a funnel. You got to tweak that funnel separately. So there are things like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and the strategies are different for each of that. When I cook a dish, the standard thing that my mom does is she takes bread and puts it in the dish after I have cooked it and after I said it is over, because she's like, I had to do it because you put too much salt in it, so I had to take out the salt. So I'm like, oh, whatever. So if I hadn't put too much salt, she wouldn't have to do that. So look at each stage and then identify it. That's a quick answer for me.
Also,
Thank you so much. Thank you so
one
much.
quick input on the admission front is that
Sir, can I just ask you one question?
Yeah.
This is Dr. Natraj from Hyderabad. Very good evening to my colleagues and the hosts. See, we're a group of schools located in Hyderabad, state of Telangana, with an ecosystem of a fine mix of rural and urban. Our management is quite magnanimous in providing different kinds of infrastructures to see that the parents will be happy at the end of the day. But what happens on screen, despite doing all kinds of service to the parent community throughout the year, some of the parents have become very critical, very fussy, and finally they take cudgels against the management and teachers, saying that what you have done is nothing compared to what you have promised during the time of admission. I don't know whether it is a kind of a parent mindset or how it should be branded and viewed. Can you just give me a light about that? Thank you.
I would say,
Thank you, sir.
thank you for sharing that. And I think many of us also have the same issues. You had the courage to share it, but many of us have the same issues. There's a beautiful book which says Good to Great. And in that, Jim Collins says it's not just important about the people that you bring on the bus, it's also important to get the right people off the bus, and yeah. So sometimes when a certain set of parents leave you, that's a blessing, because imagine if you don't want those parents and if they don't leave you, you had it, right? So first of all, it is for us to know, understand and realize whether this is the parent we want to stay with or this is the parent we want to let go. Now, things like what you said has happened to me, where parents have come to me and said, sir, your team has promised a lot, but you've not delivered. That can happen, and that might happen if we put undue pressure on our team. You have to get so many admissions, you have to do this, otherwise you're going to do blah, 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 Then people may start pushing sales, and that could be a problem. There were times when I hired people who I thought were amazing salespeople, and they were just that. They were amazing salespeople. They would crack the sale, but the sale was not a cemented concrete sale. When you're putting concrete, you need to cure it for 1 month. If you don't cure it, it's going to crack. So we have to make sure that if whoever is doing our admissions, if they understand education well, if they are probably some sort of teachers or, all this, they may not make all these, unrealistic expectations. That is definitely one thing. And most of the time I've noticed that if parents are not paying fees, it is because they are unhappy. So when I ask my principal, who are the parents who are not paying fees? If I talk to them, they are the ones who actually give they are the ones who are actually unhappy, and they'll give me feedback, because a parent always feels like the school is bigger than you, and they always feel like they're overpowered by the school and they can't do much with you unless they come in large numbers and they gang up on you. But the one thing that a parent can do is not pay fees or delay paying fees. So if there is a higher sense of delay in fees, then there is some underlying discontent. Now, with all due respect to your question, do not take anything I say seriously, because we need so much more context, to a problem like this. But we should start thinking from these different dimensions. And really, with the whole Indigo fiasco, Indigo guy gave a video apology, and the whole of India was saying, "What rubbish! That's not an apology." So like people have, as they say, BS detectors, and they're able to detect if there is no authenticity. So it is the best time for us to pull up our socks and really get down and doing crazy work. I'll tell you one thing. Every November and December, I start doing marketing in my school. I call outside parents who are not in my school and do workshops with them, trying to convince them to join the school. I'll tell you what I did this time. I said for the next 3 months, I'm not going to do any workshops outside. I'm only going to do workshops with inside audience, and that is what we're going to do. Because the minute the outsider comes and asks the insider is going to say, "Hey, idhar hathi ka daat dikhane ka alag hai aur khane ka alag hai." We cannot have all that, right? We have to remain true and authentic. I hope that helps in some way or form. And I'm also being conscious of time. I want to show you one quick 1-minute video. Take a look. Simon and I are doing this new thing, and I hope that we can help you. It's a 2-minute video. Sachi, if possible, take a look.
For 15 years, I've been telling stories for brands like Amazon, Asian Paints, Red Bull, Procter & Gamble. There's one thing I noticed in common. Schools do some fantastic work offline, but when it comes to their stories online, they all look the same. The same annual day photos, festive greetings, and student achiever photos.
School leaders live hectic lives. We're running operations, academics, parents, teachers. So storytelling is our last priority. And my school was just the same. And then I became a YouTuber. I started doing a podcast and naturally started sharing my school's story. Our school began to grow. We got over 5,000 students across 3 campuses. My school owner friends always tell me, they're doing amazing work, but their parents don't see it. They want to do stories and tell stories exactly like me. And that's where it struck me. Schools don't need marketing agencies or ad agencies.
They need storytellers who understand education, because schools aren't selling a product.
They are transforming a child's life.
And that's what parents want to see. Not stock photos, not festival greetings.
Real stories, real values, real learning.
So we created Fuel School Story, a storytelling and marketing solution which helps tell the stories of schools in an effective and authentic manner.
A system that does not just create content, but creates a culture of storytelling in your school. This year, we are handpicking just 30 schools whose stories deserve to be told.
If you believe your story deserves better,
fill in this one question application. Remember Kodak and Nokia. They dominated the market until they didn't. So go tell your stories. We put a form. We've put a link to a form in the WhatsApp group. In the chat. And if you'd like Simon and I to work with you, or if you want to consider that, then we trust that you will get in touch with us. You could fill the form, or you can just reach out to us, and then someone will get in touch with you. But really, all I can do is join my hands and say a big thank you, because for literally 2 hours, I know today you've worked like 15 hours, but I just want to say an absolute big thank you, and we'll also try and send you some more material about how you can use AI a little more. But remember, before you use AI, getting the theory and the principles right is important, because AI is like a drunk intern, right? It'll be very fast, but it may not send you in the right direction if you don't have your theory and principles in place. No better time than now to be able to get our concepts right, so that you can then use AI to accelerate in the right direction. Simon? Or anyone else?
No, nothing from my end. It's been lovely interacting with all of you, and I hope you learned something today.
If there's anybody in this group who'd like to say anything, then we can give you a minute. Because I don't want anyone to feel like...
Thank you for the wonderful session, Billy. Thank you for the wonderful session. And hi, Simon. You had been to our school, and we had a very fruitful discussion. So waiting for the more details, as we discussed.
Will do.
Thank you very much
All
for
right.
this.
Pardon?
Thank you very much for this beautiful, informative, and educative discussion. And we really enjoyed. And you have created a beautiful awareness about what's going on right now. Looking forward to accessing more of your videos in future. Thank you very much. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
So,
Thank you.
You came to me.